Hello, it's Ashley here and welcome to my kitchen. I'm here with another recipe that hopefully will be tasty, quite low in calories, fairly low in calories, and hopefully won't cost the earth to feed. As always, I'm batch cooking. I'm cooking for 8. Some will be frozen, some will be for lunches, some I will take to my parents. So today we are making a pork goulash. I'm going to start by roasting our own peppers. So I will just show you what I've done. All I've done is just cut the peppers in half through the stalk, removed the seeds and the white pithy bit, and I'm putting them just cut side down on some baking parchment in the oven for 30 minutes at 200 degrees, 35 minutes. I'm not going to add any oil or any flavouring or anything. The idea is that the skins are going to be a little bit blistered. You can buy roasted peppers in a jar, but I haven't seen them for less than, just completely red ones, I haven't seen them for less than £2.75 recently, and these 4 peppers cost me 42p each, so much less. Okay, I'm using energy in terms of heating up the oven, but I will be using the oven for other things, so it's not completely wasteful. You want to line your baking tray with parchment rather than foil. Foil can transfer some kind of metallic flavour to the peppers. You want to use red peppers because they are the sweetest. So we'll bang these in the oven and then I'll come back to you. So these peppers have had just over 30 minutes at 200 degrees fan, and you can see they're all charred and blistered. What I need to do, because we don't want that in our casserole, is to peel these of the skins and then roughly chop the peppers. I'll do that off camera just to save time. And then what you're going to need for this, I'm doubling the recipe again. It serves for the recipe I'm following, but because, you know, energy is so expensive now, I'm doubling the recipe so that I am cutting the costs of cooking and having leftovers. So I'm going to need 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm going to need 2 red onions. I'm going to need some smoked sweet paprika. I'm going to need 2 garlic cloves. Mine are a bit puny, so I've got 4. They're going to be crushed. 2 tins of chopped tomatoes. I'm going to need 2 tablespoons of flour. I've got 1 kilogram of diced pork here from my butcher. Aldi didn't have any. And then I need 600 millilitres of pork stock. Now I hadn't got any pork stock cubes. You can get them, but obviously not in Aldi. But I had got this, a little bit of Bisto pork gravy in this jar, so I've made that up to just over 600 millilitres because I've got a little bit more meat than the recipe states. For 4 people you would need 400 grams of meat, so for 8 you'd need 800 grams, but for some reason I asked for a kilo. I don't know why. So I'm going to get this going. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take the skin off the peppers and I'm going to start frying the onion in the olive oil. So the onions have had roughly 3 minutes and you can see they're just starting to become translucent. I'm hoping this pan will be big enough actually. It has got a lid, so that's fine. And because I'm doubling the recipe, I need 4 teaspoons of sweet paprika, sweet smoked paprika. So that's 2, 4, because they're heaped. I'm using this. Just going to stir that in. It's going to give a lovely rich colour. Look at that. So the paprika is what gives the goulash its classic flavour. Okay, it's got a bit extra on the spoon there. Oh, and I can smell it. So now I'm going to add to that my garlic, which I'm going to crush. It's not the best garlic. The just going to turn my heat down as well, because it's just starting to, that paprika is just starting to catch, because there's not a lot of liquid yet in this. Now this little clump in my garlic press, I'm going to leave in there and press through again. The paprika is smelling lovely. Give that a really good press. And my final little clove. I'm just going to put that in as is, because it will disperse as we're cooking. And the last one, in it goes. Yeah, they're not the juiciest of cloves of garlic. I watched somebody called Sam the Cooking Guy on YouTube, and I'll leave his channel link down below. And he seems to get the most amazingly juicy big fat cloves of garlic, but we don't seem to get that in the UK. Just going to give that a stir. Okay, got my heat quite low at the moment, a bit of escaped garlic there. Now the next thing I need to do is add the pork. So this is from my butcher. It was £4.19 a kilo. I'm just going to give this a little stir round, get those paprika bits up from the bottom of the pan and stirring the meat. Get the onion all mixed up with the meat. Isn't it a glorious colour at the moment? I'm just going to turn my heat up slightly, because I want this to brown a little bit. I'll just pause you. Okay, I'm now going to stir in 2 tablespoons of plain flour. This is going to help thicken the sauce. So that's probably a good one. Oh, I've got it all over my hob. And another one. And I'm going to just stir to mix the pork. Stir that all through. So it's going to kind of coat the pork. Will be all right in terms of pan size here. Okay. Now I'm going to stir in my tinned tomatoes and stock. Just so that I get all of those tomato juices out of my tin, I'm going to swirl a bit of stock in the bottom of my tin. Pour that out. Do the same with this tin. Give it a little swirl round. There we go. Put the rest of the stock in. And stir it all together. Get those little last bit of juices out of there. And let's just stir all this. And I'm going to try and deglaze the bottom of the pan. Gosh, it only just fits, but this is going to Now I need to add 2 tablespoons of tomato puree, and I keep forgetting to buy it and I've got a tiny bit which is going to squirt out the bottom. Oh, there we go. So tomato puree is just going to add a little bit of richness to this. There we go. And just stir that in. Now, what we need to do is put this on a simmer for 20 minutes. Does it say to cover it? Let me just check the recipe. Doesn't say to cover it. But I think I am. So I'm going to put it on a low heat and simmer for 20 minutes. So the goulash has had 20 minutes simmering with the lid on. You can see that my pan is very full. And I'm very carefully just going to add my chopped, roughly chopped, roasted red peppers. I'm just going to give that a little stir. There's a little bit of pepper there. This is very full. And I think I'm going to leave it uncovered. Splodging everywhere. Yes, I needed a different container, I think. And this just needs to simmer for 10 minutes. But what I'm going to do, I'm making this ahead of dinner, so I'm going to turn the heat off, leave the lid on, and I will come back and give it 10 minutes when I'm ready to heat it up. Now you can eat this just on its own. You can have it with crusty bread. You could have it with lovely creamy mash, but we're going to have just some basic microwave rice with this. The serving suggestion is also for soured cream, but I'm not a fan. And it also is, you know, more calorific and adds more to the cost, doesn't it? So if you want soured cream, you do you. But I'm just going to put the lid on this and let this cool a little bit. It's fine. It's only about an hour till I want to eat it. So it's going to be fine sitting here like this. Oh, look, I've just splodged all over. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. I need a bigger pan. I need a bigger pan. I'll come back when we're ready to plate up. So it is gone 7:30 now, and yeah, it's quite dark out, and I'm ready to heat this up. So it's been on a low flame for about 5 minutes. I'm just heating it through gently, and we're going to have it with some just packet rice, and I'll just give you some costings. So it works out at, for the casserole, £8.42 for 8 people. So it's just over £1 a head. £1 and what? £1.05 for the casserole. The rice is 35p and serves 2. And the total calories with the rice is 467. And total cost with the rice, say 17 pence, round it up to 18, £1. What did I say? I've forgotten now. So here it is, plating up. You can see the steam rising off it. It's very hot. Don't look like I've made a dent in it. Mr. Paper&Twine is tucking into his, and I'll be back in a minute to let you know what the verdict is. It's been a long day. Plates ready to go in the dishwasher. This is ready to go in the fridge when it's cooled down, and I'm going to deal with it tomorrow, portion it up for the freezer and for my dad. And Mr. Paper&Twine's verdict was 9 out of 10. He'd have it again. He said the pork was very tender And that's it, that's me done. So for what did we say, £1.23 a head, you can have yourself a really nice hearty warming goulash. Take care everybody, bye now.